What up dudes, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for the amazing response on the first video. I couldn't have asked for anything more. I read all your lovely comments. It felt like a little welcome back party, so I appreciate that. This video is gonna be different for sure. This is the absolute main reason it's taken me so long to come back to this channel. I knew which direction I wanted to take my content probably a year ago, but back then I definitely wasn't ready to make those kind of videos. I've really been overthinking this video and I shouldn't. I really don't know how to say this. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I just have to do it. So I take drugs. Wow, huge surprise there, Jason. We all knew that. Yes, but I never said it. And I have to say it. Like, I can't keep making videos and not being honest. Like, I've been doing drugs, especially in my videos, and most of my vlogs, I'm on drugs. Pretty much no one could tell. And that's great. That helped me just keep living a lie. But deep down inside, it's really... it's holding me back. It's been holding me back. Like, why am I even sharing it for this channel? I've been dropping like subtle hints for the past year. I've been too scared to come out and say all of this, but I've been dropping hints and some of you have been picking up on it. If I wasn't me right now and I was looking at me, I could tell. Because, I mean, first of all, I have blue dreadlocks. I dress very differently to everyone. Here's a fun fact. This hoodie right here is a giant acid tab. I've been wearing this a lot as kind of like a message to the people that understand it. And it's kind of like, hey, I do drugs. Let's be friends. But so many people don't know what this means. This right here is Albert Hofmann. He's the guy that first synthesized LSD. He did it on accident somewhere in Switzerland in 1943. In his lab, he accidentally dosed himself, so he dropped some of the acid on himself, and then he rode his bicycle home. And that was the first time anybody had ever tripped on acid. That's him. That's Switzerland in the background. 1943 is the year that happened. And he wrote about his first trip. He wrote about it in a book. Yeah, that's all that means. Now you know. I have a few YouTube friends that are open about drugs, and I see how free they are. Like, I see how free their content is. They can say anything they like, and they can make any kind of videos they want without having to hold anything back. And I really admire that, and I want a piece of that. I wish I could be 100% transparent. I've tried to be the realest YouTuber out there. This was the last thing holding me back, so hooray. I did it. Why have I been scared to do this? Mainly because of the reaction from my family, I guess. Like, I'm from a very religious family, and they're not going to react well to this because they don't understand drugs, they don't understand psychedelics. And me just talking about it is not going to help them understand. See, I knew what I was going to say before I started filming, and now that I'm filming, all the words are gone. Okay, let me just start with, what drugs do I take? I don't take all drugs. People that do drugs don't do all drugs. It's kind of like food. It's very specific. I've never smoked anything, and I've never snorted anything. The only things I take now are edibles, so weed edibles, edible weed, and psychedelics, specifically mushrooms and LSD. That's all I do right now. So yeah, surprise. And if you know anything about those drugs, they aren't addictive. That's the great thing about them. LSD is not addictive because you build an immediate tolerance to it. It takes about 2 weeks for your tolerance to reset. Same with mushrooms. If you're listening now and you're like, whoa, Jason, stop. You're making a really bad move. Maybe it's a bad move, but for me right now, in this part of my life, this is the best move I can do. This is the only move. This is the only way I can bring the channel back. It's because this is the kind of content I want to talk about. I want to talk about my drug experiences and share my psychedelic journey. Because for the past year and a half, I've had no one to talk to. I have very few friends that actually take psychedelics regularly, so I don't really have anyone to share this journey with other than the internet. And the internet's a great tool because it attracts people like myself. If I ever want to find friends, people like me, I have to be open with the internet. I can't just keep it to myself. It's stopping my growth, and this is the only way I can keep growing. Right before I started filming, my friend Corys just tweeted this out. It's definitely not a coincidence. There are no coincidences in this universe. Everything happens for a reason. So he tweeted out, "Stay honest and pure with your opinions, emotions, and lifestyle. No growth comes from limiting yourself due to how you think people will react." Perfect. Thank you, Corey, for that. Corey's one of the people that speaks openly and honestly about drugs, and I really admire that. And he's right. The only reason I've been scared to post this is because I know the reaction from certain people that are close to me is going to be bad. And it's only going to be bad for a short time. It's not going to be bad forever, I don't think. People are going to take this first video now as a shock. They're going to react badly to it, I know. But as time goes on, the more videos I make about psychedelics, and the more I show people that psychedelics aren't bad, they're illegal, but they're not bad, then those people might have a change of heart eventually. So you know in the last video where I said the age demographic for my YouTube channel is now 18 to 24, the majority? I imagine most of you guys are doing drugs, curious about drugs, or if you're not at all, or you've never even thought about them, that's okay too. You can keep watching my channel because you can see what effects drugs have on me. What I'm going to be doing with this channel, what I have been doing in secret, is I've been filming every psychedelic trip that I've had for the past year. Most of the time, I'm tripping too hard to even function and use a camera properly, but some of my recent trips I've actually captured on film. and I'm going to continue to do it. So if you don't do drugs and you're curious about what kind of effects they have on people, because there's not a lot of content like this out there. People don't film trips. I hope that you can just watch them and have a little laugh, I guess, or you might learn something. First drug I ever had was alcohol when I was 18. I managed to stay away from alcohol until I was 18 because I didn't think it was cool. I didn't want to be involved in it. I didn't see any health benefits, but I turned 18 and I was like, I'm an adult now and I haven't done anything, and that was the first thing that was easily available to me. So I got into that. Nobody ever told me that alcohol was addictive. I didn't understand how bad it was. So I got sucked into that for a few years. And then I managed to get myself out of it. I quit in 2014. I think it was the day after Warped Tour. I quit. A few months later, I guess I needed something to fill that gap. Maybe it was a social thing. I'm not sure. I felt like something was missing. Well, something had always been missing. I just didn't know. So I was open to weed. But I never wanted to smoke weed because I have a lot of friends that smoke weed, and I see how much their life centers around it. Not in a negative way so much, but I like to be a productive person, and most people that smoke a lot of weed aren't very productive. So I was like, I want to eat it. It makes sense. You're not actually smoking. You're doing zero harm to yourself in that sense. So when I was 21 and 22, I had my first weed edible. Actually, my next video on this channel is going to be about my first time. I've already filmed that video, and it's good. I hope you enjoy that. But after that, a few months after that, I tried MDMA, and then after that, sometime in 2015, I did acid for the first time. Acid changed my life. And I have no doubt that that was what it took. It took me to be open about something like that for me to actually change everything. Sorry, I keep saying acid. It's called LSD. What LSD does is it allows you to use every part of your brain. In our sober state, we're only using, I think, a piece of it or half of it on LSD. Every part of your brain works. Every door in your brain is unlocked, and bits can run back and forth and communicate for the first time. It essentially changes the way you think immediately, and those doors never shut. Once you take a psychedelic, you can't come back from it. Like, that's it. You're always going to be different. You're always going to think differently, and that's not a bad thing. In my case, it was a really good thing. That's what it took to get me out of a really bad place and to really find myself. If you've been following my journey for the past 2 years, which is how long I've been doing psychedelics now, you'll know that it's been only positive. Only good things have been happening to me now, because I'm finally cleaning up my act. I'm finally getting healthy. I'm finally looking after myself. Acid's also the reason I became vegan. Psychedelics are known to help cure addictions. So I was addicted to caffeine. Thanks to mushrooms and LSD, I managed to quit that. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know how addicted I actually was. I was having a few cans of Monster a day, and LSD also helped me quit soda. I haven't had a soda in a year and a half. And candy, I was also pretty addicted to candy. It also helped me quit meat and dairy. I was very addicted to dairy. So all these things, there's nothing else I'm addicted to. I mean, all these things, they managed to help me quit. It took time, but there was no way I could have done that stuff on my own. That's all it took, is a psychedelic substance to help me quit those addictions. And to me, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful, because there's nothing out there in the world that can help. There's very few things that can help cure addiction as well as a psychedelic can. I don't want this channel to promote drugs, because I don't feel like I have to. Like, drugs are very famous. Everybody knows what drugs are. I just want to give my opinion on them, and I want to show how they're changing my life. And hopefully it'll spark something in you. It might make you curious. It might make you do some research. That's all this channel is going to be now. I'm going to change the way you think. Like I said in my last video, I was being pretty serious about it. You'll notice my tattoo sleeve is kind of psychedelic. The very first one I got was this big mushroom dude. Got a lot of like weird eyeballs. This is from Alice in Wonderland, which is a very psychedelic movie. It references a lot of things. I'll talk about my tattoos in another video. Now I can finally explain what they really mean. I really hope this hasn't changed the way you think about me. I'm just trying to be real and honest, and I'm tired of keeping a secret about things just because it's illegal. I just don't care anymore. I'm tired of all these big YouTubers promoting alcohol. Alcohol is the worst and most dangerous drug out there. And just because it's legal, they get away with everything. They can just promote it. And they make all these dumb challenges promoting alcohol. Here's a few thumbnails of people promoting alcohol. They have very young audiences. Not that that matters, but you shouldn't promote a drug that's that bad. It's like promoting heroin. I'm just tired of that. I'm tired of being like crushed by these big YouTubers that are promoting like such terrible stuff. This might be a really bad move for me. I have a channel with 440,000 subscribers. It's almost 500,000 people on this channel. I'm changing the entire thing. I'm going from silly challenges and videos about my life to my psychedelic experience, and maybe that's a bad move. I've been thinking about it for too long. There's nothing else I can do in my life. This is the direction I have to go in. Hopefully in the future I can make a better video than this, but this is where I'm at right now. This is the headspace that I'm in. This is what I have to share. I'm sure a lot of my close friends are probably like sighing with relief right now that I've finally done this. same. I'm glad that you all finally know. If you want to share your opinion or bash me in the comments or on Twitter, you can do that. I'm open to anything right now. I just want to feel a little less alone in this universe. And I know there's a lot of people out there like me who are probably alone too, and they need people to go on this journey with. We all saw what happened to Marina Joyce. I don't want my behavior to be taken the wrong way and for people to make crazy accusations about me. I'd rather expose myself. I'd rather be honest and just tell everyone what I'm doing. If there are any other YouTubers out there that are doing drugs, if you're smoking weed, if you're popping pills, if you're doing psychedelics, and you're not telling the internet, don't be scared to. There's no reason to be scared to. Although most drugs are illegal, that doesn't mean you can't talk about them. If you're afraid of like losing subscribers, if you're afraid of your young audience, if you have a young audience not enjoying you because they think you're a bad influence, don't be afraid of all that kind of stuff. Like, none of that stuff matters at the end of the day. Like, you'll gain so much more by being honest. Yeah, and you'll start attracting the right people, if that's what you want to do. If there's any YouTubers out there that are scared, hopefully you're watching this video. I can be some sort of a catalyst. I'm 24, I'm an adult, I live on my own most of the time. I can do and say whatever I want, really. I shouldn't be afraid of anyone. I just overthink things. And for a year I've been overthinking this. I really shouldn't have. Any of you guys watching this can do what you want. You can do anything. Don't worry about what anybody says. I hope with these videos to come I can help you change your lives positively, because that's what I've done with mine. I don't mean, I don't want anybody out there to take drugs because of me. I'm just saying I know a few things, and the things I know can help you change your life positively. I remember when my friend Drew was in the same situation. He wanted to come out about weed a year ago, and when he finally did it, he was the happiest person ever. He could finally be free and speak about anything he wanted to, and that's super cool. Like, Drew's most viewed video is about acid, and he's only ever done it once. Like, that's nuts. When you come out about these things, you don't lose anything, really, you just gain. Yeah, you guys have seen Drew, he's a super confident little green dude, and it's very inspiring. So I want to be on the same level as my bud. I get asked this quite a lot. Jason, do you smoke weed? It looks like he smokes weed. No, I've never smoked weed, but I eat it. It's part of my diet. Whenever I'm hanging out with Drew, I eat weed, he smokes it. It's quite simple, really. If anybody had ever asked me, do you eat weed? I would have said, yeah, I do. I'm sure if you know how to use your hands, you've been able to type up and Google and research THC and CBD, and you know what it does. You know it has so many health benefits, and you know why the government wants to keep it illegal, because pharmaceutical companies would go out of business. So I'm happy to be talking about drugs that help change people's lives. There's no reason I should keep it a secret anymore. That's it, really. I'm Jason. I take drugs. The drugs I take: weed edibles, acid, mushrooms. Acid changed my life. I'll make another video about that and my first experience with it. Now that that's out, if there's any videos you guys want to hear me talk about, any experiences, if you go back through my old videos and you want to know the real story behind them, let me know in the comments or tweet me. All my social media links are in the description. Please leave some positive comments if you don't hate me right now, because I know this video is going to attract a lot of hate. I feel pretty awesome finally sharing this with you all. 2017 is going to be a crazy year, guys. Really crazy. My camera keeps switching off because I've been talking too long. Wrap this up, dude. If you caught on to any of my hints, you already knew all this, then you get it. You know that not all drugs are bad. There's going to be a lot of people watching this that have never tried drugs, and especially psychedelics. They're not going to understand why I'm suddenly all for it. If you've taken LSD, you'll understand why it needs to be talked about, why it can't be hidden anymore. Like, it's becoming very mainstream already. We need more people to talk about their experiences. It's not just some crazy drug. If you really look into it, it's not some crazy drug. There's so many reasons why it's illegal, mainly because the military couldn't use it to their advantage. Whoop. There's so much I can say right now. That's all I wanted to say for this video. Thank you for watching. Personally, this is not going to be easy. The backlash is going to be intense. But hey, it's out there. If you enjoyed this video, if you're happy that I'm finally being honest, if I'm finally sharing everything that I'm up to and finally sharing my true self, please give this video a like. It's going to get a lot of dislikes, I already know. If you want to give it a dislike, you can do that too. But please leave a comment telling me why you didn't like the video. Why you don't like that I'm being honest right now. Me taking drugs is not going to affect anybody else. That's the thing. Like, when you're tripping out on mushrooms, you don't go and beat people up. That's not what happens. You roll around in grass and enjoy nature. That's it. But yeah, please let me know. Other than that, subscribe to the channel. The next video on this channel will be my first experience doing weed. I hope you enjoyed that one. It'll be up in a few days. Yeah, bye-bye. Here's my location. Yeah. People were asking where I filmed my last video. That was Yosemite. If you've watched the vlogs, you'll know. If you want to know where this one was filmed, Griffith Park. LA. The one place where it has nature. You're welcome.